All right, and welcome back. But if this is your first time to the channel, please give us a subscribe. You know how this YouTube thing works. It is like a plant that needs water, and your subscriptions are the water. Now, also, if you're returning and haven't subscribed yet, just check to see and give us a subscribe. Thank you for supporting by watching. Likes help and comments help. You know, at least that's what I hear. But always feel free to leave comments, voice your opinions, or make your suggestions in the comment section. Even let us know what leaders you'd like to see. We got some law, red, green law, and due to a communication error, we're like, okay, you know what? We're going to make some fixes. So it's pretty much 99.9% the same deck. So, well, you know, what you've seen in the deck list video is pretty much the same deck. I believe we've already, in this clip, switched out the beige for the chopper. So, still a 1-drop blocker, but it's a red straw hat blocker instead of a green supernova blocker. Our board is looking promising already. And it's interesting. We worked on a black, yellow, big mom build. We put it on pause, but it's funny. It's just funny. Like, being that we reached, there's a chopper. Hey, chopper. Being that we reached what I felt like the deck building level that we've reached, a lot of our initial ideas tend to kind of work. Ooh, we get the green Luffy, and now you're tight because green Luffy protects from the KO stuff, and this is like you're black and yellow. So your yellow KO cards. Oh, that's right. Luffy can't protect himself. Okay, forget it. I thought something cool was gonna happen, and only on their side, not on our side. Boo. But anyway, yeah, let's lower that Kuzan and just punch him in the face. Just disrespecting us like that. We should get what you call it? What's that guy's name? Cavendish on the board. Ooh. Multiple shenanigans. Well, if we do that, we can let the Nami swing. Because the other option in my head is let Otama come out on the board again. And that's another nerf. And then, you know, it's like pretty much a free swing. Or get the backup Bonnie, especially since this Bonnie's about to be vulnerable to an attack. Big boy swing. Was that having a thought and then just didn't complete it? Probably. Oh yeah, the big. So what you call it? Yeah. So we constructed something and it functions kind of the way. It's just now we need to figure out how to make it stronger, right? So it's like, oh, cool. We got it. We got the light bulb to light up, but it's kind of dim. So we need more voltage. So yeah, that's where we're at. But we put it on pause because, you know, some leaders are very complicated to make well. So it's like, okay, let's move over to the next one because at the end of the day, we got to get this content out there. So, and we don't want to sacrifice the quality of the content, of course, but we still got to get the content out there, you know? It's still their turn. I'm like, in my head, ready, like, oh, they just popped our chopper. Aight, how we gonna clap back? And no, they did. They're thinking, though. You know what it probably was? It was probably a debate on whether rush us down, because we have 1 life, or work the board. Yeah. Yeah, if we block in 2K, yeah, we have a 2K. If we block in 2K, that's the end of their turn. Oh, we chose to let it go. Get that Cavendish out. Cavendish special ability just gives you so much value. Now, the funny thing about that is we could have chucked the Why am I drawing a blank on her name? Well, we could have chucked her, the Makino. Right? We could have blocked, chucked Makino, and then had still the other Makino on the board, and that would have saved us one Don. So it would have been mildly Don efficient. You would have one extra Don. Not too bad. So, if I'm correct, we have not used our shambles. So we're putting this extra level of pressure. Okay, I respect this. Now, so the thing I respect about it is that it's like we're leaving Nami rested and Makino rested to give them something to attack. So that would put less pressure on us if they choose to attack those characters. So technically they would be doing us a favor by just going for our board. I mean, we have plenty of characters in hand to restore our board. Now the problem with this, wait, what just happened? Oh right, Big Mom needs to be okay, I think everything was correct. I thought they made a misplay, but no. They should be using their leader ability, right? Am I missing something? I think I'm missing something. They didn't use their leader ability? That's crazy. To my knowledge, you got to be at 1 or 0, right? Oh, there it goes. It was just taking a long time. And then now when they end their turn, they'll gain the extra life, and then that's how that play works. Yes. Because if they were at 0, if they were at 1 and they did that play, they can only go to 2, right? Which would be like redundant. But being that they were at 2, they use that character, and then they use the leader, blah, 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 they go up to 3. So that character, if my math is correct, can only help you +1 in life if you are at 2 when you execute that character's ability. Oh, they saved it. I guess they want to encourage us to keep attacking. That's what I think. By saving it, it's just more so, hey, don't attack life. I mean, the math will math out in the same way anyway. If you, no, they actually want it on the board. That's crazy. Or if I'm giving them more credit, it could be they're afraid of the Dawn pressure that we can potentially push out. Right? Look at all this active Dawn. So if they let it go and they start swinging at life and they block 1, then we could just Dawn up and swing so heavy, and that's probably something they're like, you know what? Nah, chill. That's my theory. So it's like, let me just discard these cards now to encourage them to keep going for board. Because if they go for life, they can swing too heavy and I ain't gonna be able to protect it. Now, this is the great debate. So, our player, if they realize, right, if we take out 1 more life, they're not going to be able to gain life with this combo. But if we leave them at 2, they can go for this combo play and go back to 3. Okay. And for their well-being, they should most definitely go back to 3 life. Yep. Oh, and that's actually a nice trash, because it's like you already got the one on the board. So that play works out even better. So for Don, the leader ability is such a heavy cost, it's insane. I'm sure if this leader came out today, it would probably be a freaking Don X2. I wouldn't be surprised if it was a Don X2 or Don X1 Rest 2, yada yada. That way your swing will be weaker, because I think that's what they did for Moria. They didn't want Moria swinging so hard. So it's like your swing is weaker, and what you call it, and you just still have to eat up 3 Don altogether. So I think that's what they would have did for this leader, because, you know, they don't want you gaining life too comfortably, and which is, when you look at it, discard a card, Don X2, rest 2, 4 Don, 1 card. Yeah, they don't want you gaining life too comfortably. So I think it would have been Don X1, discard a card, and rest 2 Don when attacking. I think that's what it would have been if it came out today. But look at Z. Leader abilities that eat 4 Don, way too much. Look at Blue Crocodile. Once again, that's another leader. I feel like either he would have been a -3 Don, or he would have been -2. I could definitely see him being -2 because his bouncing wasn't good for a while. Because there was too many good on-play effects that was just kind of messing it up. You know how much of a sad story it is to... Ooh! Well, there's our Whitebeard. But this is what I love about this version of the deck, and how it encourages the bigger bodies to be on the board. Okay, so we're trying to get rid of their engine. But yeah, see? Just 6, 6, 6, 6, 6. That's 5 6s. So that's not the devilish number. It's too many for that. Ooh, looking stacked. Then again, you know, granted, it's not like, you know, Black Yellow Big Mom is such a threatening leader or anything like that, but, you know, work with me here. The board looks nice. Our board looks so tanky. Now, the Whitebeard you see in our hand, the 7-drop, is really to help us with the Doflamingo matchup. So we can actually... I was going to say, technically, we can hard cast and shambles. No, not hard cast and shambles. I don't think that overall would... I mean... Yeah. The same. It's the same. It equates the same. If he was the shambles, the red Luffy... Okay. I was going to say, if we was to shambles the red Luffy and get the law out, restand one of the characters, and then attack again. Okay, we got that one. Then we could pretty much hard cast the Luffy. But what I was trying to think of is, how do we get to use 2 restand laws abilities, you know? So here we go. We got the... Can we say the original Big Mom? Did this one come out first? I think this one came out first, right? I don't know. I'm not too sure. That is a big swing. So I'm just assuming they have nothing to... Oh my god, and they drew a life? I wouldn't even dare do that. Like, that leader ability, there's no need to rush yourself to your game state. Just let them attack. Let them waste attacks and resources to get you to the game state that you desire anyway. But like, you pushing yourself there, it's actually just helping your opponent. I mean, keep in mind, she's not Black Yellow Luffy. I mean, I get where Black Yellow Luffy eats up his life so he can reach his game state. He's also a little toxic. So it's like, his reward is a crap ton, and I mean a crap ton of power, right? So Charlotte Linlin is about trigger manipulation. So for the most part, if you just you're drawing your own life, you're just stopping yourself from potential triggers that you can use, as well as you know, making it easier for the opponent. That's it. Just let your first 2 life, in my opinion, just be defense, and then you start your game. develop your board, they attack. Now your game starts and you just do your thing. But you know, I don't know, you're just not Luffy, so I don't see a benefit in doing this. You're gonna switch, right? Because the other thing is also, like, what are all the beneficial triggers that you're going to be looking for? What are all the things, like, right now, what you could have put there either is a trigger that gives you discard 2 cards, add 1 life, or a blocker. What the heck? Okay, so you're going to draw the bottom life and then add another trigger card on top. We've made plenty of good yellow Big Mom decks in general, but there were some complications in terms of video output. Like, we focused, I feel like we made the mistake of focusing on other leaders a little too much for our YouTube channel, and that we didn't get to showcase. But we had like a strong Big Mom build every set until the game got too far away from her, and I was like, damn. But I think early in I mean, it's irrelevant. No need to look regardless. But the best thing I can say is we had a list every set until I can't remember what set. Let's say Sakazuki. It was like, oh yeah. She's washed. She ain't doing nothing. Yeah, this board state and game state for Big Mom, I mean, it's just something I don't agree with the play style. I just don't agree with it. See, you're using Hiyori when all that should just come from your leader ability. So you could put something in your deck that can give you more value. You're using Flampe, but it's like I said earlier, she's not the type of leader that you want to rush to your game state. In my personal opinion, like, you just let your opponent attack you and you'll draw into your life. You'll get that anyway. So you get to spend the time setting up your board. For at least the first 2 attacks, you set up your board, and then after that, you start setting up the top card of your life. And of course, once again, if you're drawing your life, and most likely your deck is built around triggers, you're just gonna mess up your whole trigger game. Like, for instance, let's just say you got Soul Pocus on top, and you just draw it before you reach your game state. You could have just let them attack. You get it? Now you would have to spend time to put it back into your life when it was already there. But that's just, an example. That's funny. Because it's like, you're more than likely not going to get the law, but you don't want to feel like you're wasting your attack on a tiny little Bonnie. It is the game state that people don't want to be in against law, which is, hey, I'm going to be able to use Bonnie again and again and again and again and again. So we could definitely bring back the Don, get out another blocker law, then add a Bonnie to hand and get something else out, and then I don't know, then play something, or play most likely a red character. That way the red character can be set up for Shambles plays next turn. If it's Nami, you get a search. If it's Otama, you reduce the power and swing over Perospero. But I would say the way the game state is, you might be able to ignore Perospero and just or play the Don again. Yeah, you might be able to ignore Perospero and just keep punching them. Because what's going to happen is either they're going to lose their blockers, or they're going to lose all that life. And then if they lose the last life, they have to, no matter what, block or crap their hand out. One or the other. So they get their search. Hopefully they whiff. We got 4 done up. Are we going to put the body in trash? Or are we going to leave it up, encouraging them to attacking? Yeah, they're not in the best situation right now. We're probably going to leave that one up for Radical Beam and then keep our blockers up. That's what I see. Yeah, Big Mom, you're probably better off trying to protect yourself. Yep. Because a part of me definitely disagrees with the Whitebeards. Oh, we put an extra pressure. Okay. But I'm glad we left the 1 Don up. Now, the reason why is, once again, your leader, it's built in the leader ability to be able to manipulate your life. So, you pay 6 Don to manipulate your life when your leader just needs a 2, and you'll get a 7K swing out of it, right? Now, and they could have kept that beige. They could have kept the beige, because what happens here is Law couldn't attack anyway, so they could have kept the beige in hand as 2K counter power. But yeah, I would take the Hiyori and Whitebeards out, and I don't know what else they'll put in. I don't know what their agenda was with the deck, but once again, it's when you have access to it with your leader ability. The benefit that Whitebeard can provide is that he's a 7K body, and that you do the whole take the top card of your deck and you mix it in with your life. So in theory, you can kind of view it as a search card. I mean, yeah, there is a separation between Whitebeard and Big Mom, sure. You get to look at all the cards in your life. You get to pick one and add on the top. So it's like a search option. That's how I see it. I see it as like a pseudo search option. If anybody feels that way, recommend playing Whitebeard in any yellow deck. Oh God, look at that hand. You see, you oh my God, you probably drew your soul focuses. You probably drew all of them, and then you didn't. That last life was a beige. You had 3 soul focus, so that tells me you had opportunities to switch life and put your soul focuses at some point in time. All 3 of them was in your no. That I don't know what that Big Mom player was doing, but that disappointed me. I'm sorry. I like that cat. I like that leader. I think that leader is underappreciated, underrated, under everything. And man, I would love to see somebody shine with her, because there was come on. I don't know. That's just me. That's my own personal feelings. I'm about to just pour my heart out into this YouTube video for my Big Mom. It's oh no, I always felt like that leader was underrated. I get to control my triggers. Come on, son. But I get when she came out, and I'm about to wrap this up. I get when she came out, there wasn't a lot of worthwhile triggers, but now we have a lot more triggers, so it's a lot better forms of what's worth swapping and putting into life and stuff like that. But that was the golden bread and butter play, is to get your soul focuses in life, let your soul focus do its job, and then that makes it easier for you to start 10 dropping. But you had 2 blockers, what do you call it, and you had at least a soul focus in hand. At some point we should have saw soul focus triggers in life. We should have definitely saw them. So I don't understand what the player was doing. Well, Arlong can kind of push the board just as much as us, as we're seeing right now. Arlong is, I think personally, I've always felt like a Don X leader is an aggressive leader. That's how I like to work Don X leaders. It's okay, I'm gonna be swinging. I'm gonna be swinging bigger. Let me think. And anyway, that's how I construct the decks with that in mind. It's okay, I can play this, I can play that, because essentially I'm probably gonna be swinging every turn with my leader. It's a Don X ability. There's a great chance every turn I'm swinging with my leader. So Don X leaders to me are aggressive leaders, and they should have an aggressive deck list in some fashion. When I say aggressive, I mean like well aware that the leader is probably going to be swinging all the time. That's kind of how I'm trying to say aggressive. But anyway, it's like, you look at Dofi. Characters come in play, characters come in rested, but no matter what, if you're going to use your ability, you're attacking. So, hopefully that made sense. So, I mean, Dofi it's like offense and defense. It's like Dofi usually, in my opinion, is a very defensive deck because of how the system works. They're more than likely going to keep attacking your rested characters, so on and so forth. But you're getting the ability to catch these free swings. Now, Arlong's a little different. I think he's more offensive than Dofi because your characters come from hand, but they get to be active, which means you have a better chance of keeping them on the board and using them to attack next turn. So I think, it just turns up the assault charges. But a lot of Arlong decks, I think, are more glass cannons now. Like they try to just make sure they have a lot of trigger summons so they can really go wide on the board. So it's like I summon one from hand, you attack, I take, oh look, another character. Oh look, another character. Now it's like, okay, now it's back to my turn. I got 3 characters that can attack. Potentially. Obviously it depends on what's in life. And then it's like, okay, Don X, swing again, and get a cheat out another body. But I feel like most of these builds are too much of a glass cannon. That's why for me, the staple cards is the blocker Sanji and the blocker Brule. So that way I can turn offense into defense and I can go for my aggressive swings, but then boom, blocker. Try to calm this down. Let's calm this down. Well, he's loading up. Yeah, he wants that blocker off the board. Yeah, that was too big of a swing. But the counterattack is about to be real. And, let me overall think. Well, we got the 2/1 drops. Or we can, if we feel comfortable, we can do that too. Because once he hits, he attaches rested Dawn too. So yeah, we can pop the cracker. I would definitely just pop the cracker because that's active. Then swing on the 2 rested characters. Arlong with 4 cards in hand, that will just essentially be very crippling in my opinion. Oh, okay. Well, we chose to load up the board, and we do get to swing because what's his name is Rush, Kid Killer, and then Cavendish gets to swing. Our leader gets to swing. Cavendish is going to give us 2 Dawn back. Kid Killer is going to be swinging for 7k for free, and then our leader can definitely swing. So yeah, we could put okay, Kid Killer swinging first. All right, cool. They got 4 cards in hand. This would be a heavy cost to keep. Oh, they choose to keep. Now everything is free. Ain't no way. Ain't no way. I think everything's going to be free right now. Is that a 2k? Probably not. Ooh, you're trying to be very darn conservative. If you didn't counter out of 6k, you're probably not going to counter out of this. What do we... Yeah, that's just... Oh, okay. 7k swing. We still got 3 Dawn up. We can get a search, and we can get a shambles. But if we shambles and we attack, 90% chance they're going to take life. Okay, we get that blocker on the board. Oof, love the plays, love the plays. And now Cracker's ability can't trigger, and they only got 1 card in hand. Mind you, I'm not speaking anything against the Arlong glass cannon builds, and I'm not saying my decision is the best top tier decision, but this is what usually makes me uncomfortable. I mean, the Arlong leader needs more in general, because it's sad when you have a leader that can't play their own cards. They got to play a mix of everybody else's stuff. But so in other words, he's not like you ever see no East Blue in this deck, right? But yeah, the more glass cannon he builds, kind of just like make you subject to just have to take everything to the face. No diddy. Yeah, GG. It doesn't really matter. And that was no counter. But essentially, we got 1, 2, 3, 4 attacks in a rush character. They got 3 life. So, yeah. What are you going to do? Summon a cracker, discard a card, letting us know the next swing can be for 5. Get 1. They got 1 life left. We don't need anything more than a 6K swing, potentially. Or, yeah. If you want to test the water, 7K. If you don't want to test the water, 7K swing. They lose their last life, and then that's it. Yeah, it was a sad story. But hey, here we go against the Yamato. Now this leader is still seeing meta play. I mean, with a built-in double attack, it just needs to be respected no matter what. Now, my views on Yamato, I feel like the leader needs to be more technical. Now, once again, you see a lot of glass cannon builds. Understandable. They like to get the opponent down to the 3 life state or less, so that way their Kikunojos and their Cat Vipers, or any of those type of Wano triggers, if they're playing any of those type of Wano triggers, then their abilities can kick in. But yeah, you see this? You see this, right? Swing for 5. That, to me, that guarantees a card out of hand. I feel like I see very often that Yamato players just want to Don stack and swing real big. But in my mind, I don't think there's anything wrong with just swinging light and chipping away at your opponent. Because this game is about resources, and your opponent has to make a tough decision. It's like, at first, they're like, oh yeah, hell yeah, I'm going to just discard 1 card. Yeah. And then you attack again. Well, are you ready to discard another card? Or it might discard another card. Why not? Because that's a double attack. Then they're just going to get to the point where the 3rd attack is probably guaranteed. Like, yeah, you're going to get cracked by this, because if you discard out of this, you're in trouble. You know? So that's how I feel. Since this game's about resources, you kind of have to encourage your opponent to start losing resources. You just got to just make them feel comfortable with it. And they're going to be uncomfortable taking a double attack when all they need to discard was 1 card. So that's how I feel. I feel like the Yamato leader can definitely play with it just to like chip your opponent away, which means you would need a more stable build in your deck. You know, you would need a more stable build, you know, some blockers, some board development, some board control, just a stable build in the early and mid game. And then you could definitely turn up in the late game. There'll be 2 at that point, mid/late game. Yeah, their resources should not be healthy enough. Now, if you have no plays, this is perfectly fine. If you have no plays, this is perfectly fine, you know? But yeah, and it's more guaranteed is how I also feel. If you do chip away and stuff like that, it's just more guaranteed. Now, our player is choosing to protect the board, and it makes lots of sense because they're at 2 life, and a lot of these Yamato glass cannon builds, which this I don't know what this person's build is. I don't call it glass cannon. They played a Mihawk or whatever, but they probably got bricks. They probably got some 10 drops, some Hody Jones, you know, a 10 drop ace, Hody Jones, yada yada. So we're swinging for 6, so we're just chipping. Okay, they dropped a 2K. That's 7, and they take. They took so fast. It's making me wonder, are they baiting us, or is that a tell that their hand is kind of low? We're chipping. Okay. Is Nami attacking? Okay, let's just get some 2K power. And Nami is attacking, yes. So they technically still got 2 attacks, and the scary thing is one of the attacks can come from the Yamato. They're gonna have plenty of Dawn next turn. Oh, they're activating a trigger. You know what's okay about that trigger play is that they got to see a new card in their hand. They recognize the situation. They got to see a new card in their hand. So now here's where the game gets tricky. Do you know how much you need to Dawn stack Yamato to make that go through guaranteed? And then would you happen to have enough for Nami to give you the game? Ooh, we're gonna use pumps. Okay, we're using pumps. That's why. Question: do you have to? I guess that's not the one that you have to. I remember something about you have to rest your own character, but I think you also get to rest the opponent character. I don't know. Oh, we're swinging that board. You know what it is? Because I don't know what it is. No. Obviously, okay. So you swing for 9. That's a guaranteed take, right? Now we have 4 cards in hand. You use that pump card, so you just need like 3 Dawn. You would have been at 9. Oh, GG. And then you could have Dawn stacked Nami 10K swing. They probably should have did that way. But okay, IG. Thanks for watching, and please give us a sub. You know it helps.